Welcome back to the GSL. I'm Tasis, and with me is Artosis. We saw some very games before, but now we're going to see, I think, some very awesome games. A little bit of a story here.
Definitely.
We do have Apple against Phoenix Wera. Now, Phoenix Wera actually, of course, is a member of the Wera team. He has a standard esports background. Wera mostly a War 3 team. Apple, and this is where it gets cool, is a working dude. He's got a 9 to 5. He doesn't have time to train. He's not a pro like these guys.
Just practices after work.
Yeah, I really respect that.
Absolutely, man. And he's in this tournament, and I think I just saw a TSL jersey on him. So he might actually be that good. They just showed a clip of someone we're going to see in a minute when we go to the player screen. But I could have sworn I saw a TSL jersey on someone that I don't know who he is. So that would be Apple.
That would be Apple.
We'll see, though.
Apple does have a full-time job. So that's really hard.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he's a fruit dealer.
Works at Tom and Tom's or something.
I don't know. I have no idea. But Apple, this is quite a story because it's very hard. If you guys ever try to play a game competitively and have a job,
it's impossible.
It's a real pain.
It's so hard. There's just not.
He took off work today. These are his vacation days here. We're gonna go to the players now.
All right. Will we see? Oh, look, it's TLO in the corner.
There's TLO. Oh.
And he is in TSL.
Just put on TSL. So excuse me, he is a pro gamer, but he does work a 9 to 5. So obviously he's not making enough to just do this stuff up. But he's going after the pro gaming dream.
Yeah, maybe he'll be able to do it now, as these teams become more and more corporatized.
I can't believe he's on TSL. TSL's like a really good team.
It's like the best team. They've been recruiting a lot of players recently. He is one of them. Of course, Songho is another one.
Yes. Songho
will be playing our next match. That's going to be the best match, man. I can't wait. But right now we have Apple, Terran player, going up against Phoenix Wera. This is going to be way better than the last match. I mean, this guy, I've actually played him quite a few times.
Tell me everything.
He's a standard good Terran. Nothing really sticks out about the games in my mind.
Well-rounded?
Yeah, good player. I mean, it shows. He's on TSL, so they must see something in him. I'm sure they know a lot more about him.
They're very picky.
Very picky.
TSL is actually the best team.
It is. You really can't question it. They have such ridiculously good players, so, even if they don't win a team league or something.
I've never encountered this guy on the ladder, so I don't know what to make of him, but I mean, when I see he's got TSL outfit on, I respect that.
Oh, absolutely. The head coach of TSL knows what he's doing when he picks up players. So this guy is going to show us something special. A little bit scared for Phoenix Wera.
Wera, they tend to one base a lot more.
Yeah, they've been breaking out of it, though, which I'm really proud of them.
That's good. Well, one basing can be great, but...
well, you can't really one base with Zerg anyways.
But, well, that's true. But, I mean, in general, they're known for not focusing on expanding. That's what I mean.
Quite true.
And in a minute here, we're going to get a shot of our other player,
really
Phoenix Wera. Yeah. Look at our studio. Our studio looks so good.
Phoenix Wera in the in-game chat told us he loves us. That's nice.
Oh, that's very kind of him. We love you too, Phoenix Wera.
Yeah, nice guy. This guy actually, I believe he was the first Zerg to make it through the GSL calls. He made it through in the morning. And we're like, whoa, a Zerg that we don't know made it through. Nice.
Yeah. Not very many Zergs here.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting.
Yeah.
To see somebody like that down here. And of course, Wera, those guys are very tightly knit. They train very hard together. When it's GSL day, everybody in the team works together to get them,
Of course. You got to get in the zone. Many players as deep as you can. You want to pick up those sponsors. You want to be a legitimate team. You can't be one of these teams that just, throws 4 or 5 players in the 64 round and they'll lose. You have to get some people deep. And if you don't, then suddenly you're like, you're like the fodder team that they're going to pick people up from. You got to be able to keep your stars. And if you don't have multiple people making it deep, a team like TSL would come and be like, we'll take this guy.
We're being informed that I am so sorry. Apple is not on TSL. He is wearing Fruit Dealer's jersey, and the player he admires most is a good friend. That explains why we were confused.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
I have just lost face. Apple actually wearing the Fruit Dealer's outfit, and that's why his name is obviously Apple. Boom. Case closed. Detective Tasteless. Figured it out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That didn't connect yet for me. You're really smart.
I'm all over it.
You're really smart, and you have a huge vocabulary. I'm impressed with you today, sir.
Thank you very much. Apple. Okay, now this is even a better story. Apple actually friends with the Fruit Dealer.
I wonder if he sells fruit at his stand.
Yeah. So here comes the map lineup now.
All right. First map, Shakura's Plateau. This map is probably the best map that we have right now in StarCraft 2. It's a really decent-sized map. You can actually engage in multiple locations. All sorts of harasses work. The rush distance is long enough that it isn't really imbalanced one way or another. Then we have Zelnar Caverns, one of the maps that keeps popping up because it is the lesser of many evils. It's a pretty good map overall, I think. I have no real qualms with it in any match. If I'd like to watch this
you
map...
have no personal problems with this map?
I don't hate the map. Lost Temple. This map can be very hard for Zerg vs. Terran because of the tank drop. Lost Temple, as we see. The Closet of Lost Temple. And Scrap Station and Blistering being taken away for Apple.
Yep.
And Steps of War and Jungle Basin being taken away for Phoenix. Pretty reasonable choices. Of course, that leaves Delta Quadrant there. That's a scary map to play against Terran, man.
It is.
I almost rather play...
I've had my experience of Zerg on that map. It's not fun.
It's a hard map. Hard map.
I don't actually like playing on Delta Quadrant in general.
No.
I really stress. It's
stressful,
my heart rate up.
Because like if you both have an expansion, you're actually like if you siege a tank, you almost hit like his siege tank.
Yeah, it's
like so close.
It's very stressful.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a pretty interesting series. We apologize for being confused about thinking he was on TSL. We saw him in the jersey, and I just thought, oh well.
Yeah, no,
right.
It was like a surprise to me.
He's actually 29 years old.
Oh, really?
So
that's cool, man. That guy's old.
Much older player than some of these other guys.
He's probably like a businessman or something. He
probably wears a suit most of the time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He has to tuck his shirt in before he goes into work. He's all grown up.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. Not anymore. Now he's got the Fruit Dealer's jersey on. So this is going to be cool. So this is quite a story. Really good friends with the Fruit Dealer. That's a pretty good guy to be friends with because
especially if you're going to play a Zerg.
Yeah.
Because then you get kind of the best practice you can possibly get against Zerg.
So this is going to be tough for Phoenix Wera. The countdown has started. Let's get ready for some awesome TVZ action here at the GSL.
Yes. Let's do that, Tasteless.
Game started. We're going to get this going. Here is our player over here at the bottom left. Apple.
Oh,
over here.
Wow. Okay.
At the bottom right is our blue player. He is Phoenix Wera.
We have a really good story here about Apple now. Apple is actually a reporter. He entered the GSL qualifiers to write a story, and then he qualified.
Whoa.
Yeah,
we were just informed this.
This is what happens. This is a crazy story.
Actually, a reporter entered. I feel like I'm just going to parrot what you said. I have to repeat it again because that story's so good. He actually probably had no expectations of getting this far.
No, I'm sure he had none. He's just like, I'll enter this, write one of those first-hand stories. And here he is. Suddenly, making money playing StarCraft 2.
A friend of the Fruit Dealer. Hopefully he wins this game and it'll give us bad PR.
I guess his article's going to be really good now. Like, maybe it'll be entitled "How I Won the GSL and Quit Being a Reporter."
Zerg player scouting. He's going to scout up here. Meanwhile, this Overlord will actually be what's going to spot the other player.
Yep. Now,
destructible rocks over here too, by the way. That's really important to know.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The double destructible rocks. It's hard to actually attack across that, though. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't know. I think that'll be imbalanced, but not really. If someone's actually taking the time to attack through there, you can expand all over the place away from them. You're actually so far away from where their units are that you could even sack your main base. It doesn't even matter. You can just make hatcheries all over the place. So
that's a really interesting observation.
Yeah, it's a really great map, and I can't wait to see what these guys do here. We see that actually our Zerg player has gone hatchery first, which is becoming more and more standard in this matchup. No gas quite yet, though. And in fact, no Overlord either.
Interesting.
Very late Overlord.
Yeah, I think that might have been a blunder.
Yeah. Realistically.
Actually, I guess blunder's not the right word. It's just a mistake. Straight up mistake.
Isn't that what a blunder is?
Well, blunder's like a strategic move that actually turns out to be bad.
Oh.
Not getting Overload is a mistake.
You're so smart, Tasteless.
Thank you. You're so handsome.
Thank you.
We have scouting SCB here. Note Terran did wall in.
Yep. And, well, I'm excited to see what strategy he's done here. I'm sure he went over it with Fruit Dealer, and Fruit Dealer was like, yeah, that's what works really well against Zerg on that map, and that's probably what he's going to go ahead and try. So, exciting to see. what he ends up choosing. Now the SCV has left. SCV doesn't want any part of this anymore.
I wonder if he's actually going to build something over here. I'm a little bit curious.
That would be, I don't think, a very good move.
Well, it'd be kind of obvious.
Leave your base, you kind of are like, okay, what are you doing with that SCV, really?
We're going to follow this SCV. Now, by the way, over here, we do have command center, so he's going to fast expand.
Okay, I like it.
So he's actually just going to hide that, hoping that Zerglings will perhaps be aggressive. Then he can move in there again later?
Yeah, perhaps. Just send it in later, or maybe just keep it over there to scout for additional bases being made. This is a map where you could even see some interesting strategies like a quick third base if you want to keep low-tech units.
Reaper out.
Going to be able to chase down those Zerglings pretty well. They're running for their lives. Actually, I guess they wouldn't run for their lives. They'd run for their overmind. Kerrigan. Whoever's leading the Zerg right now. They'd run for Artosis. He leads the swarm.
Artosis. Dating Kerrigan currently. She's got the hots for you, man.
Of course.
Now, this Reaper is really more for map control. This Reaper is not supposed to actually... Well, I mean, ideally, if he could, he would kill off drones. But really, the Reaper is actually to bully Zerglings off the map. Yeah. Zerg tend to actually be the ones, at least in StarCraft 1, and oftentimes in StarCraft 2, they're the ones with map control.
Yeah.
When you step out of your base, you're on their turf. But when you get a Reaper like this early, you can
hold it off until speedlings, basically.
Yeah, basically.
And oftentimes you can get a nice little scout in there, maybe force a few more Zerglings, maybe kill a drone. There's all sorts of cool little things you can do. Sometimes you catch a creep tumor. So it's just nice to have one. And it looks like speedlings are out, but the Reaper jumps up and gets away. Looks like he's not really going to do any damage. Simply sees that some gas is being gotten and some Zerglings are out.
Jump off the cliff right here.
Just like
being killed by a Zergling.
Sees the Zerglings coming, remembers what happened to Kerrigan, jumps off the cliff. He doesn't want to be infested Reaper.
Infested Reaper for the rest of your life. Speedlings are out. Bunker on the way. Breaking news here.
Oh, a nice little surround there, but not killing maybe as much as he had hoped.
The Marauders are tanking all the damage.
Yeah.
Big mistake there by Phoenix Wera.
Yeah, he really did not kill that much. It would have been much better to actually keep those Zerglings out, use them as scouts, make sure he doesn't move out, take the watchtowers, hit some rocks, anything. But running them in right there, maybe not the best choice.
Absolutely not the best choice.
He doesn't care losing a couple of units right there. Now, siege mode is being researched. So I think we're just going to see a Marine Marauder siege tank timing push. That's my guess. In fact, he may even go through the rocks in the base, which, as I was saying, it can be dangerous to do that. Of course, it can be quite powerful as well. Depends on who does what. But the Zerg player can, of course, expand away from the main base, and you can't do much about it with all your units down there.
All right, as we can see, the destructible rocks, about 75% of the health left. Actually, more like half, excuse me.
Yeah.
And
he does have an Overlord down there watching that, so he's going to know exactly what's going on, and he's going to have to react accordingly. I suggest that he makes a lot of quick units to prod and poke at the natural base, and also expands elsewhere. Doesn't build any more tech structures rather, in the main.
Zerg's going to go Bermuda Baneling. This is probably the most deadly mid-game unit combo you can have.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, I've been mostly playing Terran, as I think a lot of you guys know, and I mean, you don't have your army in the right position, you lose everything. And then Zerg takes like 2 more expansions and the game's over.
Yeah, as long as you control your Banelings right, they can be very risky, because if you lose them, that's it, man. They aren't like lurkers. They have one chance to blow up right. Oh, we have a starport going up. Going to reinforce himself with some medevacs. And it is time, man. He's walking across the bottom of the map, getting ready.
Overlord sees it. Not for long.
That's right. Explodes into a pile of goo.
He's probably going to contaminate that water. Do not drink from that water, Terran.
Well, this is a Protoss planet anyway.
Oh, hold on. We got Mutas taking out SCVs. No anti-air here.
Stemmed all his units to run in there. Loses a lot of SCVs.
Losing Marine HP too, because his Marines really aren't actually killing the Whoops, Marine interception. He does manage to move him out of here.
Yeah, he's got to be careful with this. These mutas are really going to wreak havoc on him. he can't really march across with all his units because the mutas will come back and harass. So this is why that little path, one of the reasons why it's not as good as a lot of people think.
I got to say, Phoenix Ware did a great job of keeping his opponent from actually attacking him.
Yep.
Yep.
He is taking a third base now. Pretty good creep spread so far from Phoenix. Getting a good amount of creep out in the front. Still stimming quite a bit. He's going to want to get a reactor on his starport, definitely, and get out a lot of medevacs because he's losing so much health on these Marines that eventually the mutas are just going to say, okay, goodbye, Marines, and attack them.
Lings moving out now. They're going to turn into banelings up here.
And
what do we have here? Infestation pit.
And another hatchery. So he is saying, I am not losing my main base.
Yeah.
Which at this point, with all this mutalisks harassment, looks like I think he may even give up trying to do anything over there.
Now, siege tanks are really important because those are actually what kill the banelings in the siege mode.
Yes, so you have to target those banes and kill them with the siege tanks, or your Marines are going to be toast.
Now, another attack over here at this bunker.
I have to say, Phoenix Ware is playing quite well. He's hitting here and there and everywhere, not letting the Terran do anything he wants to do. This is how you play Zerg vs. Terran. Very good player so far. Ooh, right now Infestor's being made.
Oh!
Nice.
Apple. He might have bought his fruit dealer from the fruit dealer. I mean, he might have bought his apple from the fruit dealer. I just mangled the joke. Forget about it. I'm going to go home. I just get up and leave. I had a really good joke I'm going to say. You guys will never know it. Never mind. Oh.
Yeah.
I hate it when I do that. All right.
Now, he's got this kind of fruit dealer composition. He's got some infestors. He's got a lot of banelings. He's got a lot of mutalisks. It's going to be hard for any army that Apple can have right now to do much. Catches a few mutas there.
He might have overstimmed.
Yeah, he's actually stemmed so much at this point that one fungal growth will kill most of his army. Of course, any banelings will do the same.
He's got to be careful to keep these tanks, I was about to say.
Oh, man. Apple falling apart at this point. His units are so hurt. Great economy going on by Phoenix. And, well, I don't know, man. This is not looking good at all, though. Not sure what he could do from here to come back. He does have a medevac out.
That medevac is going to be pretty tired healing all these Marines.
Take about an hour for him to actually get enough energy to heal all those. And still, more stims.
You know what the Zerg is doing is, hold that thought. Okay, the game's about, I think, end.
Yeah. Fungal growth. There you go. Yeah. And that is all she wrote for Apple. Nice try, working man, but Phoenix Ware practices this game all day long.
Breaking news, you just got owned. That's pretty brutal. Expect GG.
Any moment here.
Yeah, I mean, there's basically checkmate. GG. Good game. Zerg played really well. Phoenix Ware ain't going to have none of that. No, he won't.
Yeah. Phoenix Ware showing some good skills there.
Apple. Now experiencing what it's like to be in the pro gaming booth. This will be a great story.
Definitely.
I mean, it's really cool.
I can't wait to read the translated article. I'm sure someone will translate that.
Someone will do it for us. I want to point out a technique that was used back there. Flying in with the mutas, and then when they stim, you retreat.
Yeah.
And because this isn't like StarCraft 1 where you have, like a dozen medics or more, where you can actually stim any time to chase out mutalisks. Every time you force them to stim, they actually...
It weakens the army.
It's actually like you just did a bunch of damage to them, you can retreat, especially with late medevac builds like that.
Yeah, the medevacs were extremely late and far too few.
Yeah.
And even if they have a lot of medevacs, things like fungal growth and making them stim with mutalisks, those type of strategies are extremely effective against the biological units of Terran. Yeah. Simple as that. It's a great move. Phoenix Ware just put on a little clinic, Chill would say, about how to ZVT right there. Pretty standard game. Apple fell apart a little bit. I think there can't be that much pressure on him, I don't think. I don't think he really is thinking he's going to get too far.
I think it's just the experience of being in the booth is so exotic. I mean, I remember even going to the first few StarCraft lands I went to before I got really serious. I wasn't particularly nervous beforehand. And then all of a sudden, I'm like when I sit down and see all the people looking at me, you know what I mean? I realize everybody's actually watching me, and then it's like you're watching yourself play. It's like an out-of-body experience, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can become stressful, but look, man, he might be able to play better in the next game. We're going to find out in a little bit here.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see a better game
probably
out of him this time. He clearly had the strategy he really wanted to do based upon the map positions.
Yeah.
And when you get that too much in your head, as we've seen so many times from so many players,
right,
it really ends up biting you in the butt.
We're going to start the game. Let's get ready for game number 2 between Phoenix Ware and Apple.